Howdy, internets. It's Jake from Mini Terrain Domain, and this is Mythos Investigators. This is our original Call of Cthulhu scenario by our own Ricky Wells called Lawlerville. And this is episode 2, Tergiversation is the name of this episode. And we will turn this over to our historian, our keeper for this game, here in just a moment. A couple of quick announcements. One, first and foremost, whether you're watching with us live or you're watching later on VOD, this is an adult show with adult language and situations, potentially mature audiences. Rest assured that we have had our we've had our session zeros. We have safety tools in place, and all of us players are in communication with one another. But if you don't want to experience what could be mature content, please feel free to go find another stream to watch. We will not be offended. In fact, there's lots of great stuff out there from friends of ours, so check those out instead. With this show happening once a month, we are getting a full slate of games happening once again here at MTD. Of course, you can tune in on Monday nights for our ongoing Scribes and Scrolls, now a Pathfinder 2e campaign. We have tomorrow we will be returning with session 3 of our new Kids on Bikes RPG, Welcome to Paradise, Michigan. And then coming up in just a few weeks, you're hearing it here for the first time. Every other Tuesday, there will be a new Pathfinder game called Sky Metal Iron Gods.
Oh my God, that sounds like a band.
Right. This is going to be run by our amazing friend Violet Davies. And you'll recognize several of the players because this is what was the Every Other Tuesday Avernus crew. We took a hiatus, and Vi said, "Hey, I want to run some Pathfinder," and we said yes. So you can catch us. We're tentatively coming back on May 2nd, starting with Sky Metal Iron Gods. So very much looking forward to that. That will be a limited campaign in the sense that we're running an adventure path that's been converted to 2e, and also has the amazing talents of Violet. Vi just takes whatever that is and just makes it her own, and I'm looking forward to it. We just also want to give you a quick reminder that we have up here, we have Mythos dice in play. I'm going to pop one up there for that resubscription. For a $5 tip, 500 bits, a sub, resub, gift sub, all those things will earn us these Mythos dice that we can redeem for ourselves, bestow them upon other players, and only Ricky knows what they will actually do. So we like to play those against or on each other at various times, but we can only do that when you help us out. The final thing is just a reminder that you matter. Your presence on this earth makes a difference. Whether you believe that or not, it is true. We make it a point to talk about mental health and what you can do to get help before every one of our sessions. Because even though you may be struggling, and it is okay to not be okay, we want you to know that you do not need to struggle alone. There is help out there. There are people you can talk to. And if you're not sure where to turn, all you have to do is type !help in the chat at any time, as I have just done, and a couple of URLs will pop up. Findahelpline.com, which is a free resource. You can enter where you are located in the world, hit enter, and you'll get all kinds of resources based around your location. Or, of course, you can check out the growing list of resources over at takethis.org. We encourage you to check out those websites, bookmark them for yourself, bookmark them for a friend, and remember, you matter. With that, I am going to turn things over to the historian, Ricky.
And he's muted.
And he's muted.
That's part of the suspense.
Absolutely. You didn't. I'm glad I was muted because that sounded like Matthew McConaughey. I was like, all right. I was like, oh,
I
cringe.
thought you were just speaking in the old language of which
Correct.
we would lose
Gods,
sanity
man.
just for hearing it.
Yes.
You're right. Right.
Yes.
Let's do a quick recap because it's been a month.
Yes.
So
yes.
in our last session, we were stranded on the bridge, the Great Falls Bridge, and in which case there was an overturned tanker carrying, I forgot the name of the chemical for my own story. Jeez.
Triboxone.
Thank you very
Sorry.
much. No, that's why we need you. Thank you. And a procession of apparently all women, some holding newborn babies, all jumped off of the bridge, and in which case only can be described as a Midwest mom chorizo tentacle climbed up over the bridge and pulled the bridge apart while it burst in flames, while everyone fought for their lives and got across the bridge. Well, at least our PCs did. We had some revelations, a background check into Brock's character in the opening scene. He was burying some dead bodies and talking to some unsavory people about what to do next. And at the end of the episode, one unsavory person gave Brock, a BlackBerry with a timer that connected to some type of device buried in a barn up in the outskirts of Lawlerville in the country. So, with that said, let's begin this episode.
Before we get started,
yeah,
Brock Johnson would like to spend Mythos dice.
Absolutely.
Fuck off, Dwight.
Hey, Cari, can you roll me a D10?
Yeah, sure. Hold on. Got to get out my dice. Not quite as prepared as I usually am. Yeah, here we go. Here it comes. It's 2.
Oh
no.
Kaeryn gets a Mythos dice.
Oh wow.
Oh, I thought you were giving it to
No.
Look at you getting all
very creative of you.
Brock Johnson is so in chaos right off the bat tonight.
Oh, you don't even know. So does that mean that we have a Mythos dice for you to use at will?
No,
Karppi?
Don't we have a table roll?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I want you to roll on the table for Kaeryn.
Ah.
So Detective Karppi's going to get hit with something right off the bat.
I understand. Okay.
I missed you all.
I missed you too.
What goes
Right back
around
at you,
comes
buddy.
around again and again.
What makes it fun?
Okay. Before, so this is a prologue. Detective Karppi, as we stand at the shoreline, you see Brock looking at his BlackBerry, just gazing at it, and you feel the slight tingle of something crawling across your skin. You look down at your forearms where you feel the tingle. And when you look into your pores, your hairs are no longer there, but instead are, if you focus really in, small little pinworms for each follicle of hair on your forearms.
God. Oh.
Thanks, Dwight.
Yes.
And when you go to kind of brush it away, the way you would if a bug was crawling on you, it just kind of folds into your arm like hair does and just kind of springs back up and gently writhes around. Go ahead and let's do a quick sanity check for that.
Imagine if Karppi critically fails right off the bat.
Yeah, I haven't even started with the actual prologue.
So I rolled a 46 and my sanity is not that high.
How'd you do?
I failed my sanity.
Oh, spectacular.
Oh wait,
Spectacular.
yeah, I failed my. You're supposed to roll under, right? Yeah, I failed badly.
Okay.
Not badly, but bad enough.
Okay. You feel a reverberation, and you can kind of look up shore and up to the plateau and see the old Lawlerville mansion, which has been converted into Advent Research Facility. And you can kind of feel this eerie reverberation kind of push through the air from that mansion, emanating from that mansion, a frequency that you can only hear. We will continue to resolve this for the rest of our game day today.
Okay.
All right. All right. Now, let us begin. Rebecca, you are running through the forest. Your legs are pumping. It's pushing with, heat. Your lungs are aching. Your heart is throbbing. And you are running and running and running and pushing as hard as you can. You feel rain around you. And as you run through this uneven forest, you feel different parts of, the unevenness of the ground, branches reaching out against you. And you hear panting to your right.
Am I right?
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Trinity is next to you running.
Oh, what a bitch. Okay.
You guys are middle school best friends, high school best friends, whatever age you are.
Okay. So Rebecca is feeling a multitude of emotions.
A lot. Yeah, it's like it's a frenemy situation.
Oh yeah, for sure. Amazing. Okay. Got it.
She slips and falls into the mud.
Mm-hmm.
You feel a presence chasing you in the woods. What do you do?
So if there's a presence chasing us in the woods, Rebecca's a pretty good person. She would stop and help Trinity up. She would like skid to a stop kind of and hustle back a couple steps and run back and like pull her along kind of.
Oh my God, my foot is snagged. My foot is snagged. And her foot is entwined.
Yep. I get in there. Can I make like a strength check or something to try to
strength or survival, whichever one you have more in.
Okay, let's see. I have definitely strength. Let's go. Okay, can I spend luck points in a dream?
Who says this was a dream? And absolutely not. You had a Mythos dice put on you, whether it was passed or not.
Oh, you asshole, Dwight. I fail by 4.
Okay. You hear what sounds like a piece of celery snapping. And she goes, oh, but her foot breaks free.
Good. Okay, good. Awesome. So I pull her along and I help her up and we're going.
You are limping through the dark forest as you can feel the pursuance behind you. You continue to push on. You climb through. You can see the forest line now. It is clear. There is a boat against the shore.
Awesome.
Of Lawlerville River.
Okay.
You get to the boat. It is lodged in the mud as it is raining.
Okay.
You'll have to do a strength check to push it out.
I was just going to say,
with a disadvantage.
Yep.
Trinity's, I'm not sure if I can help.
Yeah, okay. I would just, considering she's probably hurt and something terrible's happened that I don't know about yet, I will urge her to get into the boat while I push.
Just you by yourself going to push, or do you want her to push too?
So actually, even with the penalty die, that is a success.
Nice. How much did you succeed by?
I succeeded right on my check is a 45 and I got a 45 right on the line, literally. Woo! It would have been it still would have been just a success, but a better one.
Yeah. Trinity attempts to get in the boat, but is swallowed into the mud as she can't get her footing, and she only has one good foot, and she's stuck. The boat now drifts a couple of feet into Lawlerville River. You have a choice. You can hop in the boat, or you're not going to be able to get Trinity in the boat with you. But you can stay on the shore with Trinity, or you can hop in the boat. The presence is on you. You can hear your pursuance break free from the tree line.
Oh God.
It sounds like a crowd of people chasing you.
Okay. So like, oh man. So like, even though it's like hopeless, I think what Rebecca would probably be doing is trying to like still continue to pull her along, even though it's very clear like she would not be able to get them both in the boat, or the boat is drifting away, or both. She would still be like kind of saying like, come on, and like trying to like pull her, even though it's again a futile effort, it sounds like.
Okay. So you're gonna reach down and try to stick down on Trinity. Okay. Are you trying to get to your feet, or are you just going to be
I'm trying to help. Is she like down? Is she like fallen?
She's fallen. Like true scary movie Fallen.
Yeah, like Jesus Christ. I'm trying to help her up to her feet, and like so we can make a dash to maybe even just along the shoreline to continue to escape from these people. So yeah, I'm pulling her and trying to kind of like
As you go to pull her, you also lose your footing in the mud. You see a group of people. One person walks towards you. They have dark green robes on with yellow trim around the edge of their hood, and their face is nondescript. They pull a dagger out from beneath their cloak, and they go through and they're walking like in a Jason-esque way, stalking towards you.
Oh my God.
You impulsively, you have a Nikon 950 camera. That your grandma bought you around you impulsively hit the button to take the picture. Snap. And in the first picture, it's one person. You hit it again, it's 4 people.
The flash. Oh my God.
And within each flash, more and more people appear out of the woods, and they're walking towards you in this V formation, and they come closer and closer. What do you want to do as the person raises their knife to bring it down upon you?
As the person raises their knife, Rebecca would just frickin' go for a body tackle. She wants to get like underneath it. She doesn't want to like stand back like this because she doesn't want to catch it in the hand. She would advance. She would like try to spear this guy. PLP.
Go ahead and go for it with a let's do a melee attack with disadvantage. It'll be a contested roll.
All right. Is that like a brawl?
Brawl.
Probably.
Yep.
Brawl. Okay. Whoopsie. Oh my God. Get the table, Care. Okay, girl. That's a success.
Nice.
Even with the disadvantage. My God. Knock on wood, baby.
Would you roll? I need the number.
So 32. And my check for that is a 50.
Okay. That's really good. Except for the cultist is a full-grown adult and a lot stronger.
Oh yeah.
And so when you go to tackle, the cultist kind of grabs you by the neck. Hold on one second.
That's unfortunate. Goddamn, my 13-year-old self.
Yeah, and picks you up, and then looks dead into your eyes, and begins to say, "Dore, oniere, nia, oro." Not quite the music, but no problem.
Yeah.
The pumping, strobe lights behind him.
You picked the sound. You picked the soundtrack, man.
Hold on. Look inside of your Discord, Jake.
I have your soundtrack from Discord.
It's okay. While they're figuring out the music, feel free to check us out on Spring.com.
I switched it up to more appropriate from your playlist.
All right. As the disco music fades back away, as the stars come back and you see the vision, The knife is raised upon you, and as it's raised at the zenith, you suddenly see a puff of pink mist, just poof, and the cultist falls down. You hear what sounds like a small clap behind you. You see infrared light beams targeting cultists, and you hear multiple claps as if a sudden applause was behind you. You look to see in the river, and it looks to be a group of tactical people coming up out of the water, dropping and spraying, muzzle flashes as they are dropping people. A smattering of applauses is what the gun rounds sound like as you fall down. A smoke grenade falls around you, and a puff of smoke envelops the air around you. You feel an arm grab you and pull you deeper into the smoke as you look up and you see this muzzle flashes with a smattering of that applause sounds.
Can I real quick, I'm going to pause and I'm going to say, like, Rebecca has kind of felt this, like, all is lost kind of feeling throughout this experience, obviously. And for just a half a second right now, she allows herself to hope. And that's, yeah.
And in that hope, you feel this arm around your, this hand around your bicep, and the smoke is around you. Detective Karppi, what are you saying to this journalist as she stands at the shoreline amongst all the fog as Brock is looking at his BlackBerry?
You're going to keep this out of the papers, right? There's no need to panic, everybody. We got to keep this quiet until we figure out what's going on.
What the fuck? What the fuck? What? And she's still very disoriented.
Yeah, last year, remember, you were at your van on the countryside.
Yeah. Like, Karppi? And yeah. She's like looking up and trying to kind of gain her bearings.
Detective Karppi stops grabbing your arms to scratch her own forearm. She doesn't look like she's actually aware of what she's doing at this moment, but she's just like scratching along her forearm. We have no idea what happened. I can't even explain it myself, but something happened. Maybe it was chemicals, I don't know, but until we know what's going on, we can't let this get out. We can't let people go crazy. It'll cause panic.
Am I an adult?
Yeah, you're an adult now. Yeah.
I'm an adult now. Wow.
Karppi looks at you like, of course you are.
That process was a lot hard. That process was a lot tougher the first time around. Okay. So yeah, Rebecca's kind of like still again very disoriented, like, and just was I alone? Was there anybody with me? When you pulled me out, it was over there. Was there anybody there?
What are you talking about?
There was somebody with me.
You walked up here to me at this scene.
No.
Yes.
No, I didn't. I was getting attacked, and you pulled me out like a goddamn Navy SEAL or something. That was.
Whoa. Rebecca, I don't know. Have you been drinking?
No. Rebecca secretly has. She took a shot earlier today, but she doesn't want to say that.
Because you're not making any sense right now. None. Zero. You wanted this interview. You came to me. You said you had questions. You wanted me to answer. And I'm telling you, this is not the time. I don't know what you're talking about. Navy SEALs. There's no Navy SEALs here. Look around you.
And I do. I like very notably like look around, and I'm kind of now trying to like this gaslighting that's happening. I'm trying to like mask how I'm feeling and how freaked out I am. What do I see when I look around?
Oh, you see. I'm sorry. So what you see is you see Brock over staring at something in his hand, but on the shoreline, you see all the clothes of everyone who fell off the bridge washed up on shore.
Oh shit. Okay. Okay.
Meanwhile, there are, and you see a couple of police officers from the Lawlerville, just whatever remaining forces are on that side of the bridge, putting a police line of tape around the area to block off like the whole shore, because there
Okay.
are literally clothes washing up all along the shore.
Yeah, I'm just kind of trying to maintain my composure now at this point and save face.
Okay.
I have to say something to Brock.
Brock, your cell phone rings and you see it's police chief from Great Falls.
I answer.
Brock. Holy fucking shit, right? Yeah. Listen, we have a situation here at the hospital of Great Falls. What we're put them. Okay, listen. Mayor.
Use your words.
Yeah. It's a lot. My phone's been ringing off the fucking hook all day. All right.
Yeah, that sounds like a big problem.
Yeah. Along with not having a bridge.
Bigger than what we're dealing with here, I'm sure.
Brock,
did you have a reason that you called?
Fucking shit. Yes. Listen, this afternoon, someone from Advent Technologies, you may know her, Dr. Melissa Hawthorne, is going to be giving a press conference speech. And we're going to need you to be there. I'm sorry. Let me back up. Great Falls, the mayor is going to be there. And just as a pure representative role, okay, we're going to need you there to answer questions about the investigation, keep the audience cool. Okay, keep the community cool. It's going to be at the community center, Lawlerville Community Center, your old stomping grounds. That's where it's going to be. I need you and Detective Karppi to answer any questions the community may have. Okay, don't give them too much. Just let them know we have an investigation. It's under control. There's no federal government intervention. This is all locally being handled. Okay, can you do that for me, Brock?
You know this is like the world's shittiest idea, right? Me in front of cameras. I mean, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to have fun. But you know it's a terrible idea.
Okay, listen. I'm telling you and Detective Karppi. Okay? You and your partner. You guys work it out, decide who's going to talk, who's going to speak, and then just be there. You're not going to have to answer much, okay? It's mostly going to be Advent Technologies talking about the spill, the chemicals, and the issue that's going on there. Got it?
Got it. Karppi, we're doing a press conference. Shut your mouth. Got it?
What the fuck? We don't have time for a press conference right now.
Look, I don't agree with it either. You know how orders work. Anything else, Chief?
Yeah, find out what you can about the shit. It should only be an hour and a half of your time.
Careful with those very detailed instructions.
I got a lot of shit to handle, okay? I gotta go.
Go handle your shit. I'll go do my job.
Yeah. Hey, if you keep this up, it might be a promotion down the line for you, huh?
Okay,
Maybe
I've heard
captain?
that before.
Yeah.
Brock Johnson out.
Yeah. God, what a fucking asshole. You hear that as like the phone, it clicks away. Switching scenes, we are at the residence of Steve Hawthorne. Your sister is there, and this is the house you guys grew up in. Tell me about the house you guys grew up in.
It is about at this point, it's probably about a 130-year-old house that doesn't really have any particular era that it looks like it's a part of. Like there's vague hints of Victorian architecture, but somebody mixed in a little bit of colonial. It almost looks like an experiment. It's been, the siding's been updated and the roof's been repaired over the years. The interior is pretty decent sized living room, dining room, and kitchen that sort of flow one into the other, with a bedroom on the first floor. There's a second floor with 3 more bedrooms and a bathroom. I imagine one room in the house, my sister probably kept the original sort of, not quite shag carpet, but carpeting that had that sort of, it moves from a burnt orange all the way through sort of coppers
Right.
and browns. And if anybody's wondering, I'm literally just describing my own childhood home. I mean, there's walls
Art
that
imitates life.
are still still have paneling up on them rather than any kind of painting or wallpaper. And if you look closely, you can see where the baseboards have just been painted over for years. There's places where paint was chipped, and you can sort of see those little indentations. And the carpet's a little threadbare where the thresholds transition is from kitchen to dining room. Probably out of a desire not to change too much, with it being the old family house.
Yeah. It's been mostly a sleepless night. Melissa has a pot of coffee that's brewing, and as I'm imagining, did you take a shower or anything, or you just stayed up all night? What'd you do for the remaining of the night as we move into the morning here?
I think there would have been a period of time making sure that Melissa was okay. And probably stayed and sat watch over her once she eventually fell asleep. Once I was sure that she had fallen asleep, in whatever time it would be before she woke up, I would have taken a shower in there at some point.
Okay.
And then after taking a shower, just sort of toweling my hair off and just kind of wandering through the rooms, looking at like a hutch that has some old family pictures on it, picking up a picture and looking at it.
Yeah.
Just in sort of the twilight.
Yeah. You, there's a few pictures there. One of them is of your father, Lawrence Hawthorne. And it's a picture of him cutting a ribbon up at Hawthorne's heating and cooling furnace factory that he opened, and was a job that you were supposed to have before you decided to bail to the military. There's also another picture of your family together when both of your parents were all alive. This one is kind of in copper tones, and you guys all have terrible haircuts, and you're posed in like the 70s-esque picture background. And you finally remember a time where your dad would play catch with you in the yard. You would talk about things. And a time when, before the stress of running a water heater factory got to him, before the alcohol, before the divorce, before the parents eventually dying, and before you going to the military. All that in a moment of a few family pictures you look through. You hear Melissa's sweet, kind voice, who seems to be unaffected by the night's events, and also oddly calm, considering that she was one of the persons standing at the ledge of the bridge and didn't throw herself off of it because you and this anonymous taxi driver saved her. Her voice says, "Hey, big bro, I got a cup of coffee for you." And she hands you a cup of coffee, and she says, "There's been something I've been meaning to talk to you about."
Yeah.
I wish we had more of a ceremony for your welcome back. Hey, I just want to let you know that nothing in the past matters now. And she looks into your eyes and she goes, I hope you know that. There are more important things in the future. And let me get straight to it. And she walks over to the table and grabs a set of keys and she puts them in your hand and she goes, it's yours. And she looks around the house. All of this, the home is yours. And the deed, you just have to sign there and the title is yours. I've taken care of all of it. It seems like my... Go ahead.
What? Where is this coming from, Melissa? This... After last night, this seems a little, well, premeditated.
Yeah. Listen, well, it's coming from the fact that, my interest in the stars have paid off a lot. Since you've been gone, I've got a doctorate, and I'm now the director of Advent Technologies and their science group, and the lead researcher up there. So,
So you can...
I'm doing well.
You can afford a nicer house than the shithole we grew up in.
Don't take it like that.
No, it's
no, it's
good.
It's
good.
It's not a shithole. It's important to me, and I want to stay in the family. And quite honestly, I spend so much time up at the lab and so much time there that I'm barely at home at all. And I figure that it could be a good way to keep the house in the family for you to get back on your feet. The research facility gets a lot of bad press, but it's doing a lot. It's bringing jobs back to here, and it's building up the area again. And it could be something really nice, and it could be a nice fresh start for you and something off your plate. Huh? Just trust me on this one, huh?
I mean, and I kind of look at the house keys. I mean, look, I'm very, very proud of you and all that you've done, and you deserve it. You've worked hard for all of this, always, and if you need to move away from this place and so you can focus on the stars and however far you can go with that, then do it. I do appreciate it. I didn't want to sound ungrateful. This is, to be honest, I was a little concerned that I was going to be here mooching off of you and your hospitality while I try to figure out what the hell I'm going to do.
There's a funny thing about astronomy versus astrology is people have always looked to the stars to guide them and to tell them their futures. And bro, what we're doing up there, we're unraveling the secrets of the universe. And I'm not moving away. I am trying to save us all. And she holds your hand, and then as she says that, her phone rings and she goes, excuse me. And walks into the room and you overhear her having a conversation. And yes, of course, right away. Okay, great. Okay, I don't know why. Okay, yeah. Okay, I'll take care of it. And then she walks back into the room that you're in and she goes, listen, I got a press conference I have to make. I have more things to tell you, but it's just not right now. Please come. I can, with everything that's happening, I really feel that if I can just have your presence, it would mean the world to me. And plus, you get to see your little sis in action.
Of course I'll be there. And I'm thinking, in my mind, I am thinking I'm taking any opportunity I can to keep an eye on her, given it's only been a few hours since what happened the night before. And again, thank you. And I would step in and give her a hug.
And she kind of stands on her tiptoes and gives you a hug, kisses you on the cheek, and she says, welcome home, bro. I've missed you. It's good to have you back, huh? And she walks away and swipes up on her phone and sends a text. Brock. Text on your phone appears. You okay?
That's what the text says?
Yeah. What do you have? What do you have in your cell phone for Melissa Hawthorne? What is she? What is the name in your phone for her?
Big Mama. Oh no.
That reporter, or not? No, not. She's not a reporter though. It's
She's a director of science.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. Just science.
Science.
That's all it is.
Science, bitch.
Nerd.
And yeah, you see a text and it simply asks, "You okay?"
And I just text back a string of emojis that in some way is supposed to mean I'm always good, but it doesn't really say that. It's like
the drunk-faced emoji with the
a kangaroo
arm.
waffle, you know.
yeah,
Kangaroo waffle, soccer ball, water gun.
Right.
Thumbs up.
What?
Yeah, definitely end it.
question mark.
Definitely end it with a thumbs up, but none of the other things quite make sense. It's like birthday cake, fire, and thumbs up. So,
you get a we need to talk.
And I text back just busy.
And then you get a K.
Oh, she is pissed off. Yeah, that's how you know.
I leave her on red.
Oh my God, what a dick!
I'm gonna punch
You're
you.
such an antithesis.
Make a burn roll.
As you, as you see, Jake, you see your sister walk down the hall, and her posture kind of changes as she kind of pauses at her phone for a minute, and she goes, "Hey, bro, hey, call that taxi that we used last night. Got a feeling, he's probably the only game in town right now.
Remind me, did Fender give me a card?
I don't think he had time to necessarily.
I was trying to remember if I could have swore you gave me a card, but maybe I'm misremembering.
I don't think so.
Well,
but the phone number is on the side of his cab, so
yeah, and it's something like, you know, the area code and then Fenders with an S.
Yeah, right.
So it's really easy, just like you can remember Fenders, 7 digits long.
Whatever numbers that is that spells out
Yeah, whatever
Fenders.
numbers that is. Correct. Correct.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, yeah. I mean, I guess I gotta get over there somehow anyway, and I somehow have a feeling Uber's not going to be running in town.
No. Yeah.
Also,
I don't know. Go ahead.
Wait. Never mind. I was going to say I forgot I do have a cell phone because I was communicating with my sister.
Mm-hmm. It's one of those.
I have a track phone, like
phone.
like a burner phone. So
correct.
All right, cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Say probably need to be here about 12:30 if that's okay.
It's your schedule.
Yeah.
It's not like I have anything pressing to do today.
Yeah. Right. Okay. I'm gonna get ready. Yeah, call him and yeah, set that up for us, okay? It's good to have you back. It's good to see your face.
You too.
Yeah. What is Fender doing before the phone call hits him? He's driven home and he's
Yeah, I mean it's still technically his shift, but he's he's his own boss, so he doesn't care. He's probably sitting like in his driveway, kind of Cheech and Chong in his cab. He's lit one up, and he's alternating between he's got the music playing and on the tape deck, and he's it's an older car, and he's got and he keeps fucking how many miles do I have to fucking drive to get away from that shit? Fuck. And he's just pissed that he has to that this is happening.
Yeah.
I go over 1,000 miles. How far do I have to drive to get away from this bullshit?
You feel a presence in the car with you, sitting in the front seat. What does your father say to you?
Ooh.
This you never did have the wherewithal to deal with these deal with matters of high intellect and great power. You didn't handle it. The gods know I tried. But every time you failed. Look at your arm. He kind of glances down. Almost like a programming thing. Like he has to do it almost, and then he sort of catches himself as he's halfway through, and he glances at these markings on his arm, these which to a casual observer at a distance might look like just like some kind of burns or something like that, but they have a pattern to them, and he says, yes, the knowledge could have been yours. Ran from it like you've run from everything. Just fuck off.
And you hear
he turns up the radio more,
yeah,
to with some AC/DC on, just and to the point where it's thumping and the neighbors can sort of begin hearing this.
Yeah. And do the speakers, because they're old, start giving that old speaker sound when there's feedback and there's like can't quite hit the bass notes that it wants to, so it starts kind of getting that static. Yeah. Okay. As you turn the music up, you can feel your father's gaze upon you. Do you return that gaze, or do you keep looking forward or out the window?
He's gonna try to look out the window, But because it's dark out and the dashboard is all lit and the stereo is lit, he can't help but see the reflection of his father's face in the window, green lit by all the dashboard lights and the other things, staring, looking almost eldritch in this sort of green light that's sort of bathing him.
Yeah, your father. You look into the mirror and in the window, and you can see his reflection, and you see this translucent hand as it reaches over and grips your wrist with a very icy, like locking wrist, like a restraining, holding you down. And it feels as if Optimus Prime has grabbed your wrist with all of its force and power.
It sounds like a great place for Alex to roll a Mythos die.
Let's roll a Mythos.
Sure.
Yes.
All right. What am I rolling?
Oh boy, Jake.
Second 1
this
D100,
motion.
please.
D100. Alrighty. Well, I guess we'll find out how that goes. 98.
Wow, that is if it was a 99, it'd be a catastrophic fail. But if,
good.
but it's a horrible fail.
Don't get me wrong,
as the
it's
hand-
bad.
It's really bad.
It's yeah, I was gonna say, yeah. I wasn't expecting
As the hand grips you, you are transported out of the car for a moment, and you see the scenery of it looks like the surface of Mars, but indeed it is Earth with no atmosphere. It is all black sand, and you look up into the sky and see swirling black holes all around you. And in each swirling black hole, you feel the reverberations of a presence that is immense, eternal, and forever. And that presence gazes back at you with no discernible eyes as it swirls around, sucking all the light from the cosmos into its void. And you hear your father's words. You don't have a choice. As you fade back into the hot box, give me a sanity check. Unaware of knowing if you saw deep into the past or into the future.
That's a 96, so that's a fail.
Oh. Your mind attempts to block out the parts that you can't help remember about that moment. And when you think back upon that moment, you reflect in that moment and try to wonder if that was a shift in time, a shift in perspective. Your body was a mass of writhing tentacles with the consciousness that you are. Give me a 1d8.
That's a 7.
Oh my goodness.
So 7 loss.
7 loss.
Yeah.
And you no longer see your body as normal appendages for the rest of the session. And actually, give me a d4.
Okay. 2.
2. All right. So for the next 2 sessions, in other words, the next 2 months, you will only see your body as writhing tentacles. Anytime you look into the mirror, anytime you look into your reflection, you will only see a mass of snakes, rubbery hoses, octopi, tentacles, ropes, however your mind has to process it each time.
Okay.
Maybe attempt to avoid mirrors or reflections for a while.
Yeah, and in fact, the first thing he does when he's back in the car is he's going to literally tear off his rearview mirror. Rips it off the windshield.
Your cell phone, or you have a ring. Is even on, I assume everyone has on vibrate, but
yeah.
Okay.
It takes him a minute to because he sort of feels it because he doesn't hear it because the music is still cranked up, but he turns down the music and fishes it out of his pocket, and looks at the number.
Yep, it is a local phone number. Looking for a fare, looks like.
Fender.
Hawthorne, go for it.
Hey, I don't know if you remember me. It's it's only been a couple hours. You brought me and my sister home last night after that affair on the bridge.
Oh, yeah.
That.
How is she?
I kind of look over to where she just left to go upstairs. Probably hearing the sound of the shower start upstairs, and I'm gonna say eerily okay.
Good.
Hey, it's not really my place, but how are you?
Look, I'm working right now. But what do you need?
Yeah, sorry, man. Yeah, that's why I called. I wanted to arrange a car actually for my sister and I. We need to go up to the labs, I guess. We need to be up there by 12:30, or need to leave here by 12:30.
What time is it now? Like how?
Yeah, it's probably like 11, 10.
Okay,
11.
so okay. 12:30. Sure. Yeah. I can be there.
126 West Green.
Yeah. Well, I think he dropped you off anyway, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, right. Yeah, I remember. Okay. Yeah. Sure thing. I'll be there.
Do you still have his 38? Who has whose pistol? Someone gave someone a pistol.
That's right.
I think he probably still has. He might still have it.
Yeah, I think actually. Thanks for reminding me of that. I think. Yeah. I don't mention it, but when eventually I go to start, get dressed and gather my stuff, I'll probably slip it into my coat pocket or something.
Okay.
Very John Rambo. I wear an old army field jacket as my jacket.
Fender will just kind of out of habit, he'll set a little a reminder for himself on his phone.
Okay.
So
all right.
And then he kind of slumps back in the chair, smokes a bit more after throwing the mirror out the window.
Yeah. As you bring the joint to your mouth, you hear the sound of 1,000 whips. As your arm is an extension of a tentacle, your hand is an extension of another tentacle, your finger is an extension of another tentacle, and then it tentacles all the way down. And it's almost as if your finger wraps around this cigarette and all these threads, as if like a symbiote is trying to bring the cigarette to you, or the joint, the doobie, to your mouth. And yeah, it's some pretty good weed.
Apparently.
Detective Karppi. Well, Rebecca, let's start with you. What do you do as you trying to get your feet behind you? You get a phone call from your cell phone.
Okay. I pick it. I look at who it is.
It is who is the name of the producer over at the news station you work at?
Well, okay, so it would be probably Brian, or Brian was the actual other newscaster, the man. So we'll say his name is Ted.
Ted. Oh, that's a nice head of news.
Yeah, a very newsworthy name.
Yeah, and you see Ted on your phone. Well, how do you have Ted written in your phone? Asshole boss, Ted?
I just have Ted as boss man, probably.
Okay.
And I would I'd pick up and be like, hey Ted, what
Rebecca,
can I do for you?
it's Ted.
Yeah.
It's Ted. Rebecca, it's Ted.
Yeah, I
Listen.
know.
Yeah, hey, yeah.
How
Listen,
caller ID works.
It is wow. Holy fucking shit, right?
Yeah.
Hey, where is your producer and your cameraman?
Dead.
You're fucking kidding me, dead?
Yeah, they're both dead. Everybody around me was dead. I'm fine, but I don't know how. It's fucked up over here, man.
Oh my god, what a human resource nightmare this is gonna be. Okay, listen.
What did you just say?
Yeah. Well, it's this is incredible. Listen. We need you. There is a press conference going down right now in about an hour and a half, 2 hours, at the Lawlerville Community Center. We need you to get in there. And ask questions. Okay. There will be a sympathy card for them when you get back, and we'll pass it around. Everyone will sign it. I can sign it right now. Do you want me to do R. Worth or Rebecca? And I can count on you for $10 into the flowers for the funeral for them. I'll put you down for 10. Listen, R. Worth or Becca Worth or Rebecca. Like, how do you want me to sign for you?
However you feel like it. I have a question before I go out there to the press conference. Is there anything in particular you want me to ask, and will you be paying me overtime? Because I feel like I could use a little R&R, and I'm definitely not going to get it, it sounds like, in the next week or two.
Okay. Worth. It's game time right now. Okay. This is our opportunity. We're going to be hitting all networks. This is a fucking big story. Okay.
And Rebecca's face and her whole demeanor changes. Like she knows he's right. She hates his guts right now, but he's right.
We're talking national syndication here. Okay. I mean, you want to talk about getting on fucking CNN and being on Fox and doing the circuit and doing the circuit. Oh, yeah. This is our chance. Okay. Listen. I know you haven't been getting a fair shake around here, but listen. This is your chance. This is our chance. Okay. When we break this story, you ask all the questions. You drill them into the fucking ground. Everyone's going to be watching. Okay. All right. I need you to be there.
Yeah.
You got
all
it?
right, I'll be there. When you sign that card, Ted, sign it lead anchor Rebecca Worth. And I hang up the phone. And I head to the fucking press conference. I know Rebecca, having made her rounds in the news circuit, she would know where a press conference of this magnitude would be held. And is my van operational? Is the van there? Where am I?
Yeah, it's parked just along the dirt road that leads to the shore.
Easy.
No
Okay, so I am gonna go ahead and get in the van, and you see like that shot of like the one tire going and then the dirt cloud as Rebecca just peels out and is driving fast towards the press conference.
Detective Karppi, you are at the shoreline. You see this news reporter demeanor, personality change suddenly, right? You look over at Barack. Tell me what happens with you and Barack.
Well, I think the first thing she does is, as Rebecca kind of like tears out of here, she just kind of says under her breath, "Okay, yeah, bye," and then turns to Brock. What did he want? What do you mean we have to go to a press conference? Doesn't he know we're busy here? We've got all these.
Well, you see, this thing about what's that?
Oh yeah. Sorry,
okay.
Was she? I didn't know if it was the same one.
Yeah, it's the same one.
Yeah.
Same one. Yep.
So
Sorry.
there's this thing with management where they forget what it's like to do the fucking job, and they tell us things, and we just do whatever the fuck we want anyways. But we're supposed to do a press conference, and then we're supposed to find out what's going on. It seems to be kind of mutually exclusive. I don't know if I used that term right or not, but it feels right. But anyways, I'm just going to bullshit some stuff for this press conference. I know some of the people that are going to be talking there, so I'm sure it'll be fine. And then we can fuck off and figure out what the fuck's going on. But yeah, she didn't know shit about what's going on or what to do. Again,
That
promise me
doesn't.
a captain's role. Like I've heard that shit before. So, right?
Hey, so that doesn't sound like her at all.
Well, I mean, that's what she said, but she's full of shit. So, ain't nobody giving me a captain's seat. So,
The chief doesn't do shit like this. She's better than that. She's not like all the other ones. So I don't understand why she would be calling you to do this when she knows we have business to do. She'd be calling somebody else. Why you?
Because I'm the one that's here. You're the one that's new. So, potato.
No.
Nobody says potato.
And she starts scratching.
If you wanna, if you got like shingles or something, what the fuck?
Fine, I'm fine. But if you look down at her arm, I think she's been scratching enough that you can see already, like there's, you know how there's like dots of blood on her jacket. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Starting to show up as she's been just unconsciously scratching.
Yeah. And you know how you scratch in a mosquito bite and the wound gets larger?
Yeah.
Well, there's one particular wound in which it's gotten larger, and said pinwheel is visibly no longer a pinwheel. It looks more like a small earthworm. Amongst the other thousands of pinwheels on your arms, one is larger than the other.
Yeah, she'd be scratching, and then I think as soon as Brock like mentions like what's going on, she would look down, she would see that, she'd like the horror in her eyes for a second. Brock, you can see that, and then she'd like cover up her arm again and like hide it behind herself because this is not good. When and where?
Like 12:30, something like that at the community center. I don't know.
12 or 12:30. That's a big time difference, Brock. Did you not even get the details?
12 or 12:30. I don't think they're going to start without the cops. I think we're good.
Fine. Well, let's finish up here and get ready to go.
As you say that, both you and Brock, give me a perception check or a look around.
Is that the spot hidden?
Spot hidden. There we go.
Oh, I was just under it. I rolled a 63 under my 65.
Nice.
I rolled a 7. Which, where the hell is my spot hidden on here?
Third column.
It passes. That's a strong success.
Yeah. Okay.
You hear a splash over in Lawlerville River with all the shores. I'm sorry, with all the clothes that is empty on the shoreline. And you both look over. Detective Karppi, out of your last moment, you see just a splash of water and something dive into the water. Brock, you see a full-on bubblegum colored tentacle dive into the water with that strong success. And then you can see its waves as it kind of breaks, like there's a wake that's coming towards the shoreline to where you're standing, and that wake comes closer and closer and closer. What do you want to do?
I look at it. I look over at Karppi, and I just looking to see if she has any indication that she saw it, and I kind of look back at it. And I'm like, did you see that in the water?
When I heard something. I didn't catch it.
And I point at what I'm seeing or what I saw, like right there. You see those ripples.
Yeah.
And
what was it? What did you see?
Look, it's a long story, but some shit's going down and I've seen shit like it before.
And that's
and it
where we're gonna pause.
Ooh, nice. I've seen shit like it before.
Sorry to cut you off, Brock. I had to
it's
get
all
it right there.
It's all good.
That's perfect. That's perfect.
All right, let's take a break.
All right. We'll be
Amazing.
back in about 10 minutes.
Brock, as you are in, the last thing you remember was feeling the elevator drop of, that's how it felt, but it was a pulse emanating from the research facility on the high plateau from Advent Technologies. And one moment you were at the shore, and the next moment you were in the car. Can you tell me a memory from your past that is going through your mind?
All I see, so I'm on an elevator right now, right?
No, you're inside. I'm
Oh.
sorry. You're inside of your police car.
Okay.
The feeling you felt was the way the elevator stops and
Gotcha.
pulls your gravity.
Oh,
Yeah, there you go.
oh.
So yeah, I kind of just, as we're driving in the car, I just kind of absentmindedly reach up, and my hand kind of grazes the dash right underneath where there is a picture of me and another police officer, much younger than I am now, and got our arms around each other, look happy like two young partners would in a cliche cop drama. And I just kind of think back to driving on these same streets in a squad car, not the bitchin' Pontiac Firebird we're driving around in now.
Obviously.
But we were in just a squad car, and Ronnie was driving, and I'm sitting in the passenger seat, bitching about something.
Mm-hmm.
He's laughing and kind of egging me on, and I'm just going on and on and on, and we drive by and we notice something drawn, some weird graffiti on one of the walls of one of the buildings. I'm like, the fuck is that, man? He looks at me, he's like, I don't know, I haven't seen anything like that before. That's weird. And we turn a couple of corners, and there's another one. This time it's on the side of a school building, and it's in yellow, but it's kind of back in the corner of the building. There it is again. And he's like, yeah, that's weird. We keep an eye out for that. Something, maybe some new gang tags or something. I don't know. And then cut back to me in the car, and again, I'm just kind of got my hand just under this picture. I'm like, it's happening again, Ronnie. I don't know if I can do this again. And I kind of reach and I touch the pocket where the BlackBerry is. Just kind of like absentmindedly making sure that it's still there, even though it's always there.
Right.
I don't know if I can do it, Ronnie. And it's just barely audible, so Karppi probably hears me say it.
Karppi, how do you respond? One moment you are at the shoreline, and Brock seems to have something important to tell you. You feel a elevator drop in your stomach, that way of gravity, pushing against momentum, going in the opposite direction. And you are in the squad car with a lapse of time, maybe a half an hour, maybe 15 minutes. You check maybe your cell phone to see what time it is, and you notice that maybe approximately 10 or 15 minutes pass by. Obviously, time has passed, but you hear Brock saying this. Go ahead.
Karppi doesn't say anything right away. She's just kind of watching him and looking at him, like touch this photo that she never understood really why it was on the dashboard, but whatever. But then he says this, and she's like, for a moment, actually, I think her heart thaws a little bit towards Brock, this asshole that she's been partnered with. And in a moment of probably regret later that she'll feel, she just says to him, like, "That your old partner?"
You don't talk about him.
"Well, neither do you. But you are right now."
But you're not. And I just
No.
turn my eyes back to the road. And I give it a couple of beats. I'm like, all right, that was kind of a dick move. Sorry. Look, I gotta process some shit. I will fill you in, but you just gotta give me a minute. Let's get through this press conference, and then I'll tell you what I know. But just keep your eyes out. Anything looks weird, take note.
Yeah.
Anything. Like really weird. Like fucked up. Like you got a little too high and you start seeing shit weird. Like that stuff.
Bubblegum wrapper pink. Yeah.
Tentacles,
okay.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Weird shit. If you see it, just let me know.
All right.
All right. Fender, your car smells like some of the best weed that can be bought in the tri-state area. And you got to pick up a passenger in an hour and a half. What are you doing?
Yeah, he's gonna obviously roll the windows down and kind of air it out a bit. He goes, opens up his glove box, pulls out one of the many plastic wrapped pine trees that he has in there, tears it open, and he goes to hang it on his rearview mirror and realizes he can't, and he'll just hook it on one of the little clothing hooks on the side. And he's gonna go to eat up some time by going to a drive-through, pick up a couple burgers, and he's gonna fill up the gas tank to make sure if he just has this urge, he wants to make sure he tops it off. He doesn't want to risk running out of gas at any point.
What are you going to do to protect your mind?
Well, yeah, I mean, he's got years of therapy under his belt, right?
Mm-hmm.
So at this point, he is he's sort of sort of building up his walls, and if anyone were to hear him, he was like murmuring something like my mind is a wall bound by will, my mind is a wall bound by will, and he's sort of building these sort of these ramparts in his mind, sort of partitioning off the things he doesn't want to think about, and particularly his father, who he puts behind a black door.
Oh, behind a black door. This is interesting.
Throws a couple of large bolts in that, and moves a trunk in front of it, that sort of thing, and he is sort of focusing on that, keeping that door shut, because at the moment he that's sort of his what he sees is his main issue right now.
Does your dad say anything as he's put behind this door?
When he's sort of thinking about it, he already sort of imagines him there, because that was sort of his place that he would go to, and Fender was always glad when he was there, because he would often be there for hours and hours and not come out. And it was sort of a time of where he knew that he wouldn't have to worry about listening to him or dealing with him. So he probably hears things down there. Behind the door you hear some footsteps, some murmuring, maybe some low chanting, but he sort of has begun to block that out. And yeah, so he's just got these big heavy, like little slide bolts,
Sure.
that just putting it in place.
If your mind is your body and your
Mhm.
body is a house, you feel your father being put down into the basement.
Yeah.
And it feels like a pit into your stomach.
Yeah.
And when you visualize this in your mind, you see, how dare you? You see a glinting of ash kind of seep through the cracks of the door. And there's all the whispers of your father that you've heard through your whole life, 1,000 whispers. Disappoint me. Be strong. Be harder. Failure. Some of them are sharp whispers. Some of them are soft. Some of them are murmurs. And then there are faint shouts and cries of your mother within these whispers. Silent woman. He needs to learn. And these whispers are vapors that kind of go around this door that you've locked your father into your mind. And when all these vapors coalesce, you exhale a puff of smoke that you've been holding in since you took your last hit off your joint. And the vapors just kind of into the air. And they don't smell like the wonderful ganja that you've been smoking. What do they smell like? What does it smell like?
Charcoal, sulfur, probably some kind of something like frankincense but bitter.
Yeah.
Resins, all these incenses his father would use, that they would come in these brown paper wrapped packages from Turkey and from all these exotic countries that that
Right.
he never hoped to see.
Right.
And so
Pungent and strong.
Yeah.
And when you go to take that first bite into the burger, it is all blue cheese. You can't even taste the flavor of the burger. It's overwhelming in your senses. And I don't know, are you going to try to push and try to eat those burgers?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm not going to make you roll for that because that's ridiculous. The first burger roll ever. No, actually, I am going to make you roll for that. Roll willpower, please. Yeah.
Oh, sure. Ow. Okay.
Every time you look in the mirror, your burger, your raw meat
Is tentacles.
Oh no, I have something way worse. Go for it.
No, in this case, I got a hard success.
Hard success.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. It's one of those things where you've eaten the burgers and didn't even get a chance to enjoy them because your mind was somewhere else. You reach back into the bag, assuming there's another burger there. In the way that someone reaches back into a bag of empty M&Ms, assuming there's another M&M, and there's none. And you're like,
heartbreak.
Piss. And the resentment just grows for your dad, Yeah. All right. Miss Rebecca Worth, as you are speeding to the community center, there's no one to do your makeup. There's no one to prep. You have to do this all your own. How are you going to?
In the car while I'm driving.
Yeah.
I'm like looking, I have the rear view mirror unsafely adjusted, and I'm just kind of like making sure I look halfway presentable.
Are you like, which Joker version is your makeup? Is it like the Batman 1989 version of the makeup, or
it is the Jack Nicholson version. It is hot drag queen, no. I think it is probably, honestly, Rebecca had makeup on. She was reporting. The only thing she probably has to do is get mascara out from under her eyes and redo her mascara. That's probably the only thing she would bother with as she's on the road here.
Okay. All right. Moving back up to Hawthorne as the Fender pulls up into your driveway. Your sister emerges from the back.
Horn beeps outside.
From the back of the room, she has a binder full of papers. She obviously looks nervous. She's like, okay, it's just people. We're doing the right thing. We're doing science. And what are you wearing, Jake? Just like a flannel or?
I think that because this is important to Melissa, he would have dug in and into his duffel and probably found the iron, or at least thrown some slacks and a button-down shirt into the dryer to on wrinkle release for a little bit, and probably wearing simple black slacks, a white button-down, and as an afterthought threw a simple black tie. Not quite fully up. In fact, he's probably got his sleeves rolled up.
Just as the taxi pulls up, there's a knock at the door. And at the door is an older woman, gray hair pulled back into a bun, wearing, a flannel, red checkered black flannel with blue jeans. And when you go to answer it, she looks around you and says, "Is Melissa there? Is Melissa here?"
She, can I tell her who's here to see her?
It's okay. And she looks around and she goes, "I'll come back later." And she leaves as this taxi is honking the horn, pulling up. It's a crappy horn. It's not even the common F tune that we're used to hearing.
Yeah, I kind of glance after this woman as she walks away. And
she looks over her shoulder and sees you looking at her. And then she kind of like picks up her pace to a trot jog to the end of the block.
Gosh. Oh my god.
Yeah, I actually mutter under my breath, "Yeah, that's not creepy at all." And then I call into the house, "Cab's here." And I just kind of give a wave out to Fender. Before Melissa comes to the door, I step back in and I grab despite wearing the somewhat dressy clothes, I still grab my battered army field jacket, and I just do a quick check in the side pocket that the 38's tucked inside there.
Your sister comes up. "Okay, I think I'm ready."
You got this, and Cab's here, and don't worry. And I hold up the keys that she gave me. I'll lock up.
Of course. And she kind of rushes in front of you and gets in the cab. Fender, the woman gets in the cab, and you don't have a rear view mirror anymore.
Nope.
Okay. She slides into the side.
Your efforts have been thwarted.
And then as Hawthorne locks up the door and casually makes his way to the cab, do you want to say anything before you get into the cabs?
Me or?
No, Jake.
Oh.
Do I want to say anything to who?
Anyone. Just look around or do anything before you get in?
I mean, probably, and this is just a thing that I do typically when I leave my house. I lock the door, and as I walk to the cab, I just sort of take a look around the neighborhood. In particular, probably looking in the direction that this creepy old lady walked. But yeah,
go ahead and roll spot hidden.
Just kind of looking. Let's see, spot hidden. That's a fail.
Okay. Do you have any occult at all?
Colt?
Mythos or occult.
It's super low, but I have some.
Go for it. If you want to roll, go for it.
Okay, it's a single digit, so.
Good.
Good luck.
There are things you shouldn't see.
It's a 31. My Colt's 5. So
Okay.
Oh, damn.
no dice.
All right. You feel the presence of something watching you. You can't quite pinpoint where it's at or where it's coming from. It almost feels like it's watching you in all directions as you get into the car. Fender, as this man gets into the car, you feel the presence of a child into the car as well. It is angry. It is upset. It is violent. It is dying. You just feel that presence.
Okay.
All right.
Hi. Where are we headed?
Community center, Lawlerville Community Center.
All right.
Okay.
He pulls the lever on the meter. Hey, who's that creepy old bat that was at your house? Is she one of those Bible thumpers or something?
I kind of look over at Melissa. You know, I have no idea. Old lady?
No one to worry.
Fun?
Yeah.
Busybody
Nope.
kind of presence?
All the above. Nothing to worry about. She comes around every week. She's harmless. Okay, let's just go. And as you guys drive down the street, spot it real quick, everyone who's in the car.
Oh, sure.
Oh, jeez, 94.
Ooh.
How'd you do?
I got a 12, so that's pretty
Nice.
good.
Yeah, well done.
I'll spend one luck to make it an extreme.
I mean, you don't have to do the extreme.
Oh,
There's no
okay.
need.
No, but-
Hold the
okay.
extreme because trust me, you're
All right.
gonna want to hold the extremes.
Fair enough,
Um,
fair enough.
Jesus Christ.
As
Hold on to your luck, Ricky says.
When the
as-
historian is giving you tips, you know
this,
you are.
and this is the
fucked.
kindest thing this is me being kind. As you drive down the street, you notice that all of the street lights that are along this street begin to flicker, burn really bright, and then all go out. Nothing pops or anything, it just and goes out as you continue to drive down the street.
What about are the houses all? He kind of glanced around the houses. Do you see any lights in the houses themselves?
Yes,
Or
in
anything
the
like that?
houses, you see there seems to be an electrical surge going through the houses, almost in a wave-like fashion as you drive down the street.
Okay.
You know, lights turning on really brightly when people are home, maybe they're not, and then going off as you're driving down.
Okay.
And you feel a strange that elevator drop again in gravity.
Mhm.
And then now we are all at the community center. There is, as we approach the community center from different vantages, we all see that it's the old brutalism architecture that was really popular in the 70s. And the community center is built of squares or rectangles. You know, one rectangle protruding the front, another rectangle protruding the left side that's longer, and then a smaller square. So it makes this weird Tetris-like shape that sits in the middle of Lawlerville. And the community center used to be this place where people would play basketball and have fun and mirth. There are swimming pools there. But ever since the economic decline of Lawlerville, the place has been mostly just resorted to a quasi-city hall place where people can come. It's no longer operational in terms of most of the facilities are closed. The gym, the basketball courts, the weight room, the pool, all empty now. It's mainly just administrative offices, which is a few people working there. You pull up to this building and already people have the citizens of Lawlerville have begun making vigils of all the people they've lost. There's poster boards of family members that were missing, that were on the bridge that day. And there's maybe 100 different photos and people and bulletins. Have you seen this person? Have you found this person? Have you seen this person? And a lot of people are congregating around this area because they all know that this is the place they can get answers today, because somehow the concept of a press conference has got out around town. So everyone is kind of communing here. And as humans do, there's comfort when something tragic happens in masses. Brock and Detective Karppi, as you pull up and park your car and you see these masses of people, what are you thinking? What are you doing?
Karppi is looking at all these people, and she is just saddened. She's remembering the horrible night and the loss of life, and it's just kind of overwhelming. And as she's about to get out of the vehicle, she just kind of pauses for a second and then looks back. She doesn't actually look at Brock, but she just kind of turns her head that way a little bit and just says, Brock, just remember, these people have lost loved ones. So try not to be such a dick, okay?
If you can try to help it, don't be such a dick.
I'll do my best, my charming best. And I spit on the floor. Kind of.
Brock, you can feel the tension in your air. It feels unfamiliar, but it feels very familiar. The feeling of dread, the feeling of being watched, the feeling of being pursued. It is as if a debt needs to be paid. And that is your phone call that has been calling you all day. What do you want to do?
I'm just gonna walk to the well, actually, where exactly am I right now? Like,
You're in a parking lot, and
Okay.
you just for GM specifications, you have a car in there that has a MAC-10 and something, and whatever weapons you want to have.
Okay. Karppi, I need a minute. If you want to go on ahead, I'll catch up to you. And then I'm just gonna kind of peel off into the corner of the park. I'm gonna pull out that BlackBerry, and I'm gonna see what's the timer on it say.
Let's see. It was, what was it, 9 days? I forget the exact time, but let's say it is 6 hours less
Okay.
than what it was the first time you looked at it.
Okay. I'm gonna I kind of look at it for a second, and I'm gonna hit the call button and just like do that twice on the call button so it calls the last number that it would have dialed.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take it for a second. I'm gonna hit it twice and then see if it connects to anything.
Yeah.
So,
A voice. You pulling up to your ear?
yeah. If it starts to ring, I will put it up to my ear. Yep.
Yeah. And the voice, after 3 or 4 rings, things in control.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say they're out of control yet, but they're shit's going down. Stuff's happening around town. Again. It feels like the last time.
Yeah.
And I look back at the timer. I mean, it's getting close.
Yeah. The timer's a contingency.
Yeah. You got any more of those super soldiers or any of that shit this time? I'd go for some of that. I don't really want to do this with shit. I've already lost one partner. And he was a good one.
Yeah. The last flock was last team was important. And the team before that, even more important. We don't have manpower right now for this. This seems to be a global event going all around the world. Any seems to be imminent.
Global event. Well, okay, so we're fucked, right? That's what you're saying? We're fucked?
We've been fucked since day one.
Yeah.
Your job is to
Well,
unfuck us.
Yeah.
yeah. Feels like we're just kicking the can down the road, so guess I'll just try to kick it some more.
Listen.
Yeah, no, I'm done. And I hang up.
All right.
And I'm going to tuck the phone back in my pocket. And I'm going to walk up to where the podium is and get ready for this press conference.
Spectacular. Inside, this is actually, the press conference takes place in like kind of the gymnasium of this community center, where everyone can sit, and all the citizens. There's only about 300 to 500 people comfortably sitting, and they're all packed in tight. That heat that humans emit when everyone gets into a tight gymnasium is there. That smell emits. All right, let's back up a minute before we get in there. Detective Karppi, you see Brock pull off to the side. Anything you want to think about or do?
She's definitely, I guess, at this point, a little worried, I think, about Brock. He's been acting a little cagey the last, even more so than normal. Like it's just something, I guess, if you will, her hackles are kind of like raised. Not like she's worried that he'll do something crazy to her, but that something is going on that he needs help with.
Yeah, you see the Pontiac Sunfire kind of peel back into the parking lot, and Brock, how do you exit the car? What do you do? How like what's your emotion as you get out of the car? Did you park it in the back?
What's my emotion as I get out of the car?
Well, so basically, the way I'm seeing the scene is Karppi sees your car, you guys' car, your partner car, pull up and towards, that end of the parking lot when no one parks at the very end.
Yeah. So, I mean, I get done with this call. I mean, and the next time Karppi sees me, it's noticeable. Like the kind of like nonchalant, what the fuck, who gives a fuck kind of just look that I have at all times is gone. I'm standing up straight, shoulders back. I've pulled my jacket on and straightened it up. I've kind of like brushed my hair over, and there's an air of confidence about me as I walk into this building. I mean, it's normally I'm just got this kind of very lackadaisical stroll to everything that I do. This is very purposeful to get in and
strides in there.
Yeah, I think seeing that, she was probably like waiting at the doorway, kind of leaning against the wall a little bit, waiting for him to come by. She was going to, offer not condolences, but like comfort or whatever she could do. But then she sees him get out, and he's like confident, purposeful, and this whatever she was going to, and whatever she was going to say just kind of dies on her lips because he's okay. He seems okay.
As I walk by, I look at you and I give you the winky finger guns.
Wow. I have a question, Mr. Historian. Am I here? Am I behind them? Am I in front of them? Am I already in there, or what?
Almost.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, so like, you'll be getting out of your van. We'll get to you.
No worries. No worries.
No problem.
Sorry.
Detective Karppi, as you feel this sense of purpose and intentionalness, your hand kind of drifts down to the hilt of your gun, and kind of as an insurance to ground you. And then when you raise your hand back, tell me about all those pinworms you see.
Oh God. I think maybe it's even at the time like he does the winky gun salute, is when that all happens, And just as he's kind of finishing that, she sees these things crawling all over her arm, and unconscious, like without she can't help herself, but she kind of lets out this little scream, little shriek, little gasp that definitely Brock would hear. And she's immediately like, like trying to flick them off, and she's going crazy on her arm. Brock.
Brock, what do you do as you are walking past her and you hear that little eep?
Eep.
I'm sorry, was it an eep? I imagine it as
No,
eep.
it is an eep.
Yeah, it would have been, because she would have tried to catch it as much as possible. So it would have been like a, yeah.
My doctor once prescribed me some medicine for eczema that should probably take care of that.
He says that as he's looking over his shoulder as he's walking in.
And she just kind of like does the last wipe and hides the arm.
Okay. All right. Rebecca Worth, you're out of your news van. All you have literally is your cell phone to record your questions and answers. Trinity walks out looking stunning. She's amazing. What does she look like as she walks towards you?
So Trinity O'Shea, classic frenemy, is bottle blonde, like perfect, like part. It's very much like the I woke up this way kind of look. She's wearing like a blazer jacket with a like skirt that, again, they all match. It fits perfectly. Her station provides her like her entire wardrobe, whereas I only get like a few pieces from my station. She is slightly taller than me, though that could just be the heels. I've never seen her without heels, so it's kind of hard to tell who's who and how tall she actually is. And she is with her cameraman, who I also know, Mitch, because they all just kind of make the rounds. And yeah, they are on their way in, and I'm just like, God damn it. As she gets out of her van, and I'm kind of like, I'm scrambling in the console of my van is like one little attachment to my my phone that functions as like an external microphone that's just a little higher quality. I wasn't going to use it, but seeing Trinity with her whole frickin' setup, I at least try to snag that real quick. And then I try to hustle in because I want to beat her inside the building. There's a moment in which you both are walking towards the front door, and it's obviously you're hustling in before her. And as like she like there's like a one Mississippi before she hits the door before you do. So it's like this weird and she goes, oh my God, have you been crying? No, I haven't. Everything's fine. I've just been on the road. I was out on another job before I got called here. So busy. Very important. Okay. Well, no, go ahead. You're obviously in a rush. No, please go. We're in the front row anyway, so it doesn't matter. Go ahead and go. And I would kind of nod and know that like the only reason I have like a seat in the press like corral is because like I know a couple of people and I know a couple of the officers that sometimes get me a good seat just because like we're old high school friends or like whatever. I obviously know Detective Karppi, and like usually she can get me a front row seat, and but Trinity gets it just because she's Trinity, and that's still great. And I'm like, well, thanks. I appreciate it. Good luck, I guess. Hey, Rebecca, it's okay to cry. I give her the dirtiest look that has ever been given, and I walk past oh my God, I walk past her. I imagine there's like one security. Is it is Detective Karppi still there and near the door, or is
Where are
she
you at, Detective
into the-
Karppi?
Yeah.
I think I would have followed Brock right in after
Okay.
that whole ordeal thing.
Is there still somebody like watching the door to make sure
No, it's
riffraff
pretty
can
much
get in?
it's pretty much open. All riffraff come in. This is a community center.
Okay.
Thus the community's
I made a
welcome.
press pass that I really want to show people, and this is my press pass. So I made it out of stuff from my desk.
Oh, that's
Anyway.
so cute.
That'll help you get that front row seat.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, press pass.
I like
and
to
so,
imagine that Rebecca's press pass absolutely looks like it probably is a real press
It may
pass.
look exactly like this. It's like, and if Trinity ever asks to see it, it'd be like, yeah, it's my press pass. Like, just very.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So I like make my way in, hussing under my breath, and now trying desperately to remember all the questions I came up with on the way over here, because I'm so pissed off that I'm kind of starting to forget them, and then I'm kind of panicking.
All right. As you go ahead and find your place within the gymnasium, Fender, you pull up with Hawthorne and his sister Melissa. Hey, and Melissa kind of like grabs you on the shoulder and she's like, hey, extra fare, stick around. In fact, why don't you come in? It may be enlightening for everybody, huh?
Yeah, I probably will.
Yeah.
Either way, I'll get a fare out of this. So
Yeah, name the price.
So he'll park someplace where no one else parks, just sort of like, pulls up like onto the sidewalk kind of thing nearby. And gets out, opens, make sure they get out, and when he goes in, he's going to hang out like near. He's not going to take a seat. He's going to stand like next to the door out and just kind of lean against the wall, with his arms folded.
Okay. Hawthorne, as you're walking up to the community center with the taxi driver, your sister has hurried in front of you. Is there anything you want to say to Fender as you guys are walking before he goes and takes his position?
I don't think so. I think we just walk in awkward silence side by side.
And Fender, you can tell that the clothes that Hawthorne is wearing are obviously not the clothes he's used to wearing. It kind of fits in him in this way. It fits him, but it's just in this awkward way he moves in them. Yeah. Okay. So we're all in the gymnasium. Hawthorne, you see Melissa run up to Brock. Brock, Melissa comes up to you. Hey. Brock.
Oh, I'm sorry. Were you there?
Oh
Of
my
course.
god, what an asshole.
Were you there?
I
Dick.
can't get over it.
Really? After all we've been through. Listen, you can play that tough guy with me. I was here. I was here when it all went down. And I helped you, and I helped Ronnie, and I helped everyone. And I saved this town. And don't act like you don't know me in front of everybody. And 6 weeks ago, you led me into your trailer. Don't act like we don't know each other. The least you can do is give me the common courtesy of saying hello.
Hello.
Yeah. I should have
Look.
known. What?
Are we gonna do this press conference? I got work to do.
And I have something to tell you.
I just kind of cock my head.
And she goes, you know what, later, I have a lot. And, the mayor comes up and he's like, okay, now we need to talk now. All right. There is a statuesque, very intelligent, very confident woman standing at the podium. She begins to explain. Well, the mayor starts off. All right, everyone. Thank you for everyone being here. Listen, there's a lot going on in our city right now. There's a lot going on in our town. Ever since Great Falls and Lawlerville have become one community, we are here to provide you the resources that we all need right now. Are there any questions? Starting with... Okay, go ahead, you. Yes, please.
Yes. So real quick, I mean, obviously this most recent accident today on the bridge, is not the first that has been connected to the labs and to the facility. Is there any kind of explanation we can get that explains why all of these are happening in such a rapid succession, and possibly what are we doing to prevent them from happening again?
Okay, I'm going to turn this part over to Dr. Hawthorne here, head researcher at the Advent Technology Research Labs. Dr. Hawthorne, please. And you see the woman kind of walk up, and she has a binder, and she's kind of shuffling papers. Okay. And she looks out in the audience, and she makes eye contact with you, Jake. What's the look you return to her?
Probably the same look I gave whenever I was supporting her in school events, which for her was probably mathletes and debate club and stuff like that. And I just give her a big cheesy grin and a...
It's
Okay.
cute.
Yeah, so as you all know that the facility that was once the old Lawlerville estate has been converted into a technology lab, and in which case we are doing research into the changing magnetic field of the Earth. We have determined that the Earth's magnetic core has stopped spinning, but that's not the most important part. The actual outer core has reversed its polarity, and at the same time we've realized that it's a combination unique event between us and astronomers in various fields of science, in which we are determining the causes for this anomaly that is occurring, and our facility is there researching this. At this point in time, the chemical that was inside the truck, while we show that though it was flammable, that it does actually not pose an actual danger to the community of the citizens at Lawlerville, nor does it actually it's a coolant that we use. That
A follow-up question, if I could.
Okay.
Speaking from somebody who was on the bridge today, I can assure you that it does pose a danger to the citizens of Lawlerville and of Great Falls. What are you going to do to prevent this from happening again? And Rebecca's tone is very aggressive and accusatory, and you almost sense in Rebecca's, and she stands up. The first question she asked, she didn't stand up. She sat in her seat. Right now she stands up, and it's almost like Rebecca can kind of like smell blood in the water with this girl, and kind of like is taking advantage of her lack of confidence, and Rebecca's kind of like having her moment at the expense of this girl on stage.
Okay, listen. So what we are involved in is researching the events of the planet, in which we need that very important chemical to keep the supercomputers that we're using to process these things cool. And as she's saying this, the lights begin to kind of flicker and kind of brown and get a little deeper. And so it's all been federally approved by the FDA. FDA. No. The EPA, and along with everyone else. And then as you hear this, you hear someone shout out from the audience, "Hey, weren't you on the bridge too? My wife is gone now."
Oh my god. Who's
Hawthorne, what do you do as you hear one of these community members say that?
I'm in full trained combat readiness at this point. Just all of a sudden I'm keyed on this person. assessing, hey, this is somebody who's not only a general threat, but potentially a threat to my sister. With my background, I've dealt with citizen uprisings in communities, and my hand is resting on the weight in the pocket of the field jacket.
Yeah, there's something she's not telling us as the crowd begins to build. Yeah, she's a fucking liar. Yeah, the scientists are ruining our city. Things haven't been the same. Yeah. And
I
they're all kind of-
Rebecca turns. Oh, go ahead.
I step up to the podium. All right. I need everybody to sit the fuck down.
Can I take this opportunity to give Brock a Mythos die?
Abso-fucking-lutely you can.
Real quick, I will say while we're figuring out Mythos die, Rebecca turns the record function off on her phone and turns on the video function.
Okay.
And is ready to go.
All right, go ahead and give me a now, do you want to roll that, Fender, or do you want Brock to roll it? I'll give you that.
Brock can roll it.
All right, Brock, go ahead and roll that.
D100.
Ever the philanthropist.
There's a
Alex, everybody.
39.
You'd be in 1d4.
It is a 1.
You can sense a fever in the room as everyone's anger gets way out of hand. In one turn, this is going to get violent. You see people who have brought, it's almost like they've come to the kill the beast with, like, you know, and
There's a beast in the woods.
yeah, people are standing up and they're getting more and more angry as smoke, a cloud of inky smoke kind of starts to draft under all the doorways.
What?
All right. Everybody needs to sit down. It's me. It's Brock. You know me.
Well, in that case.
I've been here. I've been in this town my whole life. You know me. I won us a state championship 25 years ago. I've been watching over this place. You know me.
Would have gone pro if not for
I've got this.
Does the town of Lawlerville have below Lawlerville city limits home of Brock Johnson, state champion?
Absolutely. It is at almost every Greasy Spoon restaurant everywhere you see. It is when you drive into the city, it is on the drive, and like all the 4 years that he's run state championship. And as speaking of which, as you see this, Jake, as you see this man steps to the podium, a flashback occurs in a moment of time where there is what was the car you drove back in high school, Brock?
It was the Firebird that I'm driving now.
There's this scene in which a black Firebird pulls up to your house probably a couple weeks before your deployment, and you hear what kind of music are you playing out of that black Firebird?
No, it's Steely Dan.
Steely Dan?
Obviously.
How do you beckon Melissa out of the house in your Firebird?
Lay on the horn.
Yeah, there's
I do that thing where you kind of like stand up with like leaning on the horn, with my head out of the T-top.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, babe.
So I don't just know Brock by reputation. I know Brock by reputation.
Yeah, by like a couple weeks before you deployed out and left out overseas, this asshole pulls up at front of your house doing exactly what you just said, leaning on the horn, beckoning your sister, who was probably a year and a half younger in terms of undergrad because she hit high school earlier because she's a genius. How do you feel about that as you recognize this person up at the podium?
I think it's a combination of recognizing, oh yeah, that's that guy. I kind of totally forgot about him. I definitely have animosity towards him, but I'm also thinking, you know what? You definitely knew bigger assholes than him in the service. Or at least I think I did.
Brock, go ahead. You're up at the podium as Jake remembers who you are.
But I definitely told stories to my buddies about this asshole that dated my sister.
All right, Brock, scene is yours back up at the podium.
So I give everybody a minute to kind of settle down.
What the fuck is going on? Where's that? My wife is dead.
Marty, sit the fuck down. Marty, sit down. I got this. It's me. Come on. We played golf in the golf league. We were partners for 2 years. We won league second year. Come on. You know me, Marty.
Yeah,
I got this. Sit down, Marty.
And he sits back down in the chair.
Now look. Some shit's going down. I'll be honest. We don't know what it is. But I gesture over
continues to fill the room as it comes through, seeping underneath the door frames of the gymnasium. It's a light smoke, like someone has like a fog machine on outside.
But I gesture over to what's her name, Michelle?
Melissa.
I gesture over to Melissa. Look, the science people, they're investigating. The police department is in regular contact with them. We are investigating what's going on. If you have questions, you can come to Detective Karppi over there. She'll be taking all of your inquiries. She's the point person. Don't call me, call her. But we are on this. Trust me. Shit's weird. I get it. People died. We're all on edge.
I make a spot hidden to see this smoke coming in.
Oh, that's perfect timing. As you go ahead, make that spot hidden.
I would love to. Here I go. Wow. Well, that is an extreme success.
An extreme success. The smoke itself, as you kind of look into these old doors that are closed in the gymnasium, and the smoke, the doors are open, and you can see what it looks like writhing worms kind of crawling down each of these. Imagine a square gymnasium, and imagine there's exit, and there's exit signs and the doors, and then there are doors all around, 4 doors that allow people to go in and out. And when you look through each of those doors, through the smoke, you see the worm-like structures of tentacles kind of writhing into the gymnasium. And as you see this, one gymnasium door behind you slams open, and you hear a strong voice in the background. Lies. These are all lies. And let's see, hold on one second.
Oh my God.
And the man holds up a giant compass, and it's an enormous size compass, and it is twirling around in like this weird fashion that can't point true north. As he walks towards the front of the room, like the smoke kind of begins to cover your eyes, and Rebecca, you wake up and you are strapped down to a chair. And in this chair, you look around and you're kind of blurry-eyed, and you're in a barn. It's an old barn out in the middle of the outskirts of Lawlerville. You see 2 men standing over a barrel with a tactical gear. One has the camera that you had around your neck, and he's pulling the film out over this barrel that's with fire. And he holds this film out.
Hey, no, stop!
And he looks at the other guy who's in tactical gear and shakes his head and throws it in the flame. The other guy has your camera, and he kind of is looking inside of it. And he looks at the other guy. He gives him the nod and throws the camera into...
please!
And as he hears you come to, it's a Korean man. He's walking towards you. He unholsters his gun on his hip, and he pulls back, and he begins to walk towards you as if it's cocked, ready to kill you. A man stands in front. Go ahead.
Back into I'm just pressed back into this chair. Like I kind of, I'm scared.
Another man steps out in front of him and kind of gestures. You know, you can't quite hear what they're saying, but they can tell you're awake.
Yeah.
And he's pointing to you. And he's pointing to someone else in the corner. Trinity slumped over.
Oh, fuck.
She's not tied down or anything. She's laying down. It's almost as if she's dead. And he talks to this man again, points at him, and he points back at you. And then the other man, the Korean man, takes his sidearm and holsters it, puts it away. And he pretty much, you can tell they're gesturing towards each other.
Okay.
The other man that calmed them down walked towards you. And you see his face. He's probably around 35, white male, raying around his temples. Listen, child. No one's gonna hurt you tonight. You've seen things that you can't understand. Things you shouldn't understand. Things you wouldn't understand. But we'll help you forget them. He reaches into a small cigar box and pulls out a tuning fork. He taps it. And it begins to reverberate in the air. And as the reverberations get closer and closer, and he pulls the tuning fork to your head, he taps it to your head. And in that tap, you awaken back to our modern time. And you see the man who's standing in the back of the gymnasium with the compass oversized spinning, saying, "It's all lies. I am the vigilant citizen." And his hair is gray. And it is the same man from all that time ago. And that's what we're going to call it tonight.
God, what?
Ricky, I don't know how you did it, but you just timed that to a second to the end of the track you had me play for the ending.
Oh my God, that was perfect. Holy cow.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. The vigilant side note, real quick, backstory here. Ricky has been sending us newsletters for like months
Well,
from
some
the
of you.
vigilant citizen. So some of us who would subscribe to the newsletter. But oh my God. That's cool, dude. That's cool.
Oh my word. That was
Incredible.
That was incredible. Shout out to Ricky, who I mean, Dwight's known this for a long time, but Ricky's just an incredible storyteller, and I was saying during the break, it's just amazing how smoothly you move between each of 5 players in this setting, and I just absolutely love it.
Thank you. I hope you guys are having fun.
Yes, keeping the tension up big time. Absolutely amazing. And you'll have to wait a whole month to tune in to find out what happens in our next session. But trust me, it's worth the wait. Also, I'm just going to give a shout out to Dwight, who I don't know where he comes up with it, but he plays the butthole perfectly.
Oh my God. Like whatever your name was.
I have said from the time I built this character for Ricky's campaign that Brock, there's a lot of me in Brock.
Those of us that have known you for longer can definitely tell.
but it's definitely a chance to play into the what if things had gone different for Dwight and playing into some of the darker aspects of my personality.
The label is just Brock, Dwight Unfiltered.
Dwight.
Oh man.
Oh yeah.
Wow. Wow.
So as we get ready to head on out of here, reminder, tune in tomorrow night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, right here on twitch.tv/mini-terrain-domain for session 3 of our Kids on Bikes Welcome to Paradise, Michigan, set in 1980 something in a small Midwestern Michigan town on the lakeshore where several kids have gone to visit their grandparents for the summer, and they're already starting to get into a little bit of mischief. Of course, reminder to tune in on Mondays for Scribes and Scrolls Pathfinder. And we'll be back here the second Wednesday of May for our next session. Thank you to Emporium for the Wayward Gamer for rating us earlier around break time, and our good friend Tildaloo, who showed up just a little while ago, bringing Tildaloo's audience over there. It's always a question. It seems to be a question lately of who's going to end their stream first and raid. Because I think we've raided as they were trying to raid us before.
Yes.
We are actually, I just checked, and it looks like our miniature painting friend, Dr. Faust, I don't know, I can never remember if it's Doctor or DR. There it is. Got it. Dr. Faust Painting Clinic is painting miniatures, so we're going to send our raid over there. Again, a shout out to everybody who's hanging out in the chat with us, or if you're watching later on the VOD, we appreciate you. If you're somebody that likes to lurk quietly in the chat and just listen along, we hope you enjoy. We appreciate you. And of course, a huge thank you to our historian and the originator of this scenario, Ricky, and the players, Kaeryn, Alex, Cari, and Dwight. And me, without whom this would just be Ricky talking to himself for a couple hours. With that, we're going to go ahead and end this stream the same way we end every stream. And you can say it with me if you want.